Hello all, my name is Sujan George and welcome to this lecture series of surveying. Today we'll be discussing about reverse curves. Now reverse curve is again a type of a horizontal curve in which there are curves containing two arcs. This curve, it consists of two simple curves or arcs. It consists of two simple curves or arcs. This is the first curve. Let us call this as arc 1. And this is the second curve. Let us call this as arc 2. So it consists of two simple curves or arcs, but it bends in opposite direction. It bends in opposite direction. Okay, so this is the difference between a compound curve and a reverse curve. A compound curve also consists of two simple curves, but they bend in the same direction. Okay, but in case of reverse curve, they bend in opposite direction, and also they have the same common tangent point. Okay, you can see this is arc 1 and this is arc 2. They have a same common tangent. This is the same common tangent. This arc is, this line is the common tangent to both these arcs, and it has a common tangent point. This is the point where these both arcs change its direction. This is the point where this arc, both arcs change its direction. So it is a common tangent point. Okay, let us call this as A, V and C. Okay, this is point A, this is V and this is C. Okay, so here this length VA, it is actually VA and this VC. VA and VC are the two tangents or straights. They are also called as straights. They are the two tangents or straights. Okay. Now here these VA and VC, this VA is actually tangent to this arc 1. You can see VA is tangent to this arc 1 and VC is tangent to this arc 2. Okay, it is tangent to this arc 2. Now these reverse curves, they are actually used where this angle of intersection of both the tangents are very small. Okay, where these angle of intersection is very small of both the tangents, there these reverse curves are used. Or you can say when these both tangents, they are parallel to each other, there these reverse curves are mostly used. So it is used when this angle of intersection of both straights is very small. Okay, when the angle of intersection of both straights, this is straight VA and this is straight VC. So when both the straights, the angle of intersection of both the straights is very small, or when both straights are parallel to each other. When both straights are parallel to each other, then also we can use this reverse curve. Okay, this is where the reverse curve is actually used. Fine. Now we'll see the elements of a reverse curve. The elements of a reverse curve. Now elements means you need to know all the parts of a reverse curve. Okay, so let us consider this figure. Let us see this here. This is arc of the first curve and this is the arc of the second curve. So VA and VC, we know VA and VC are the tangents or straights. Okay, VA and VC are the tangents or straights. Here, let us say that this is point T1, this is point T2. So, T1 and T2 are the points of tangency. T1 and T2 are the points of tangency. Here, T1 is the point of curve, or you can say point of curvature, that is PC. T1 is the point of curvature and T2 is the point of tangent, that is PT. And there is this point E where these two arcs, they bend in different direction. So this point E is actually called as the point of reverse curvature, that is PRC. E is the point of reverse curvature, PRC. Now, as these two curves are there, let us say that this R1, this is R1, R1 is the R1 is the smaller radius and this is R2. So here R2 is the larger radius. What does this mean? That R1 is having smaller radius as compared to this R2. Okay. Now let us say here there is an angle. Let us call this angle as delta 1, and here there is another angle. Let us say that this angle is delta 2. Okay, so what is delta 1 and delta 2? Here delta 1 will be the central angle for curve, having smaller radius. Okay, see this delta 1 is the central angle for this curve having the smaller radius, that is R1. Similarly, what is delta 2? Delta 2 will be the central angle for the curve having larger radius, R2. See, this delta 2, it is the central angle for this curve having larger radius, R2. Okay, so this is delta 1 and this is delta 2. Let us say that here at the angle of intersection, it is given as delta. It is given as delta, and this delta is actually the total deviation between the tangents. Total deviation between the tangents. Okay, this delta is the total deviation between the tangents. Now here, if we join these 2 points T1 and T2, this is point T1 and this is point T2. Suppose we join these 2 points, so here we have joined these 2 points T1, T2. So this T1, T2, if they are joined, here suppose this angle, let us call this angle as del 1 and this angle, let this be del 2. This is del 1 and this is del 2. So here, what is del 1 actually? Del 1 is actually the angle between this tangent VA. It is angle between this tangent VA and the line T1, T2, joining the tangent points. Okay. So del 1 is angle between tangent VA and line T1, T2. This is angle between line VA and line T1, T2. Similarly, what will be del 2? Del 2 is angle between tangent, this is tangent VC, angle between tangent VC and this line T1, T2, tangent VC and line T1, T2. Fine. So these are the elements, or you can say these are the parts of a reverse curve. Here, what is indicated by this reverse curve? This T1, E, T2. Okay, T1, E, T2 is indicated by this reverse curve. I will write that also here. This T1, E, T2 is actually the reverse curve. Okay. So these are actually the parts, or you can say the elements of a reverse curve. Fine. Now we need to calculate the relationship between all the parts. Okay. So for that we will have to consider this diagram. Okay. Now here we know that since this E, it is the point of reverse curve. See, this E is the point of reverse curvature. So this line O1, O2, it will be actually perpendicular to this line BD. Okay, because line BD is what? It is the common tangent. Line BD is actually the common tangent to both the curves. So BD is the common tangent. Okay, so here this will be actually perpendicular to this line O1, O2. So suppose here when we join these 2 points T1, T2, we got these angles del 1 and del 2. Okay, now from here suppose we drop a perpendicular from this point O1 to this line T1, T2. Suppose this is the perpendicular. Okay, so what we did over here, we dropped a perpendicular, means this is the perpendicular from point O1 till the line T1, T2. Let us call this as point F. Let this be point F. Similarly, let us drop another perpendicular from this point O2 on this line T1, T2. Okay, what we did, from this point O2 we dropped a perpendicular, this is actually a perpendicular on line T1, T2. Let us call this as point G. This point is G. And let us produce this O2G, this line O2G again further, and let us connect it with this O1. Let us connect with this O1, where this O1H, let this point be H. here this O1H is actually parallel to this line T1, T2. Okay, so if we consider, this is actually a rectangle. This O1, F, G, H. This O1, F, G, H is a rectangle. Okay, so here O1H will be equal to FG. O1H will be equal to FG and O1F will be equal to GH. This O1F will be equal to GH. Fine. Now, as this is a rectangle, now here, since this is the central angle delta 1, this is the central angle delta 1, so obviously this, according to the properties of a circle, if this is delta 1, this angle should also be equal to delta 1. Okay. Similarly, here this central angle is delta 2. So the deflection, external deflection angle that both the tangents make, it will be this angle, and this angle should also be equal to delta 2. Okay, so this is delta 1 and this is delta 2. Now we know, if we consider this triangle BVD, see, if we consider triangle BVD, means this triangle BV and D. So in this triangle, it is somewhat like this. This is B, this is V, and this is D. So this is the external angle delta 1. This is the internal angles, opposite internal angles delta and delta 2. So what we get from here? We see that we know the property of the triangle, that delta 1, it will be equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. It will be equal to delta plus delta 2, or we can write this as delta is equal to delta 1 minus delta 2. Here what we are assuming is, see, this is delta 1 is central angle for curve having smaller radius and delta 2 is central angle for curve having larger radius. Here we are assuming that delta 1 is greater than delta 2. This is the thing that we are assuming. It could be possible that delta 1 is less than delta 2 also. Then what case arises, that we will see. Now here we are assuming that delta 1 is greater than delta 2. So we get this equation, delta is equal to delta 1 minus delta 2. Now suppose if we consider triangle, this T1V and T2, T1V, T2, this triangle T1V, T2. So what we get over here, again this will be like this somewhat. This is T1, this is V, and this is T2. Now here this is external angle, so this angle is given as del 1. This angle is given as del 1. This angle is delta. This angle is delta. This angle is del 1. And this angle is del 2. Del 2. So again, if we apply the property of the triangle, so what we will get? The external angle del 1, it should be equal to the sum of opposite interior angles, that is delta plus del 2. Again, what we will get from here? Delta is equal to del 1 minus del 2. Delta is equal to del 1 minus del 2. So if we consider both these equations, so from both the equations we will get that delta 1 minus delta 2 is equal to del 1 minus del 2. Okay, delta 1 minus delta 2 is equal to del 1 minus del 2. Fine. Now here, if consider this. Now we know that this VA is tangent to this curve T1E. Okay, so as this is tangent, it should be perpendicular to the radius. It should be perpendicular to the radius. This tangent should be perpendicular to this radius. Now as this is perpendicular to the radius and this is angle del 1. So what will this angle be? This angle should be 90 minus del 1. See, this is full 90 and this is del 1. So obviously this angle should be 90 minus del 1. Okay, so I will write here this angle is 90 minus del 1. Fine. Now this angle is, now if we consider this triangle T1FO1, T1FO1. So here this is 90 minus del 1. This is 90. So what will this angle be? This angle will obviously be equal to del 1. Okay, this angle it will be equal to del 1. So if this is del 1, so definitely this angle should be equal to delta 1 minus del 1, because this total angle is delta 1. Okay, this is del 1. So this will be delta 1 minus del 1. Similarly, if we consider here, this VC is the tangent to this curve T2E. So obviously this radius will be perpendicular to this tangent. This will be perpendicular to this. Now if this is perpendicular to this and this angle is del 2, this angle is del 2. So this angle will be what? 90 minus del 2. This angle will be 90 minus del 2. This is 90 minus del 2. If we consider triangle O2GT2. So here, if this is 90 minus del 2, this is 90 degree. So obviously this angle, it should be equal to del 2. This angle will be equal to del 2. And if this is del 2, this total is delta 2. So obviously this angle will be equal to delta 2 minus del 2. Fine. This angle will be equal to delta 2 minus del 2. Okay. Now, based on this, let us consider this triangle T1O1F. Let us consider triangle T1O1F. This is triangle T1O1F. I'll draw this over here. This is T1, this is O1, and this is F. Now here, this is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. This angle is given as del 1. See, this angle is given as del 1. And this is actually the radius R1. R1 is the smaller radius. Okay. So, sine del 1 is equal to what? Sine del 1 will be opposite upon hypotenuse. That is T1F, opposite is T1F, del 1 opposite is T1F, upon hypotenuse is R1. So here T1F is equal to R1 sine del 1. T1F is equal to R1 sine del 1. Similarly, if we do cos del 1, so cos is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Now adjacent is O1F, hypotenuse is R1 upon R1. But from here we got that O1F is equal to GH, as this is a rectangle, this is a complete rectangle, so this O1F is equal to GH. So we can write this as GH upon R1, this will be GH upon R1. So GH is equal to R1 cos del 1. GH is equal to R1 cos del 1. Now if we consider this triangle T2O2G, triangle T2O2G, we'll make this triangle over here. So this is 90-degree angle. See, this is T2O2G. This is 90-degree angle. This is T2O2G. Here, this is 90. This angle is del 2. This angle is given as del 2. And this is the radius. See, this is the radius R2. Okay, this is the radius R2. So R2 is the radius. So sine del 2 will be what? Sine del 2 is opposite upon hypotenuse, that is T2G upon hypotenuse is R2. So we get T2G as R2 sine del 2. Similarly, cos del 2. Cos del 2 will be adjacent upon hypotenuse. Adjacent is O2G upon hypotenuse is R2. So this will become O2G is equal to R2 cos del 2. O2G is equal to R2 cos del 2. Okay. Now, suppose we consider this triangle O1, O2, H. We consider this triangle O1, O2, H. Triangle O1, O2, H. We'll make that triangle over here. Now here, as we know that this O1FGH is a rectangle, this O1FGH, it is a rectangle. So this angle should be 90-degree angle because all the angles of a rectangle will be perpendicular. So this will be a 90-degree angle. This is O2, this is O1, and this is H. O1, O2, H. And this O1E is the radius R1 and this O2E is the radius R2. Okay, from the figure we can see this radius R1 and this is radius R2. So we can write this as R1 plus R2. Okay, this can be written as R1 plus R2. So if we consider sine, okay, now in this angle is given as what? This angle is given as delta 2 minus del 2. See, this angle, it is given as delta 2 minus del 2. See, this angle is delta 2 minus del 2. So sine of delta 2 minus del 2. Sine of delta 2 minus del 2 will be opposite upon hypotenuse. Opposite is O1H and hypotenuse is R1 plus R2. But here this O1H is equal to FG. See, this O1H will be equal to FG because it is a rectangle. So we can write this as FG upon R1 plus R2. So what will be FG? FG will be equal to R1 plus R2 into sine delta 2 minus del 2. Similarly, cos of delta 2 minus del 2, what will that be? It will be adjacent upon hypotenuse. Adjacent is O2H. O2H and hypotenuse is R1 plus R2. O2H upon R1 plus R2. So here O2H will be equal to R1 plus R2 cos delta 2 minus del 2. Okay. So we considered these three triangles. Okay, based on that, we found out some formulas. Now we need to find actually this length T1, T2. Length joining these two tangent points T1, T2, we need to find out. So how that would be found out? This length T1, T2 length T1 T2, it will be equal to this length T1F plus this length FG plus FG plus this T2G, this T2G, T1F plus FG plus T2G. So we have calculated T1F. Here T1F is given as R1 sine delta 1. FG is calculated as R1 plus R2 sine delta 2 minus del 2. And T2G is R2 sine del 2. Okay, so simply substituting these formulas, these values over here. So this T1F, this length T1 T2, this will be equal to T1F is R1 sine del 1 plus FG is R1 plus R2 sine delta 2 minus del 2, and this T2G is given as R2 sine del 2, R2 sine del 2. Okay, so we found out the formula for this line T1 T2. Fine. Now here suppose we know that this delta 2, see from here we got that this delta 1 minus delta 2 is equal to del 1 minus del 2. Okay, so this will write over here. Delta 1 minus del 2 is equal to del 1 minus del 2. Okay, so this can be rearranged like this. Delta 2 minus del 2. Delta 2 minus del 2 is equal to delta 1 minus del 1. Okay, this can be rearranged like this. So here this delta 2 minus del 2 can be written as delta 1 minus del 1 also. Okay, so this T1 T2, it can be equal to this R1 sine del 1 plus R1 plus R2 into sine of, this can be written as delta 1 minus del 1 also plus R2 sine del 2. Okay. Now here if we consider this line O2H, okay, if we consider this line O2H, so O2H, see this O2H, it is equal to this O2G plus GH. O2H is equal to O2G plus GH. But here GH is equal to O1F. So we can write this as O2G plus O1F because GH is equal to O1F. Okay, now here O2H, we got O2H as this formula. O2G is this formula, and O1F GH formula we got as this R1 cos del 1. Okay, this is R1 cos del 1. So we can write this as O2H is R1 plus R2 into cos delta 2 minus del 2 is equal to O2G is what? See, O2G is R2 cos del 2. R2 cos del 2, and this GH is equal to O1F. So this GH is equal to R1 cos delta 1. Okay, O1F is equal to GH, that is equal to R1 cos delta 1. So this is equal to plus R1 cos del 1. Here this cos delta 2 minus del 2. Okay, this we know that this delta 2 minus del 2 can be written as delta 1 minus del 1 also, is equal to cos delta 1 minus del 1 because this is equal. this will be equal to r1 cos del 1 plus r2 cos del 2 whole divided by this r1 by r1 plus r2. r1 plus r2. Okay. So here if we need to find the angles, that is delta 2, del 2, delta 1, del 1, it could be found out if we know these radius r1 and r2. Okay. Now in this derivation, what have we assumed? In this derivation, we assumed that delta 1 is greater than delta 2. This angle delta 1 is greater than this angle, this angle delta 2. Okay, means this here we have written this already. See, delta 1 is greater than delta 2, that we had assumed. So if delta 1 is greater than delta 2, so hence this total deviation angle delta, it will be equal to delta 1 minus delta 2. Okay, this we have assumed in this. But if we assume that delta 1 is less than delta 2, delta 1 is less than delta 2, then this delta will be equal to delta 2 minus delta 1. Okay, this thing you have to keep in mind. Fine. So here we saw the elements, we saw what a reverse curve is, and we saw all the parts of the reverse curve and also the elements of a reverse curve. Okay. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you so much.